Go.
I'm Kat. I am the training coordinator and the assistant for employee relations, and I am the one responsible for the training materials, training modules, cue cards, and other stuff needed for employment relations.
What is employer relations? What is employer relations? Okay. Would you like me to discuss it?
Yes.
Okay. HR, you dichotomize it into how many areas? 1, recruitment and selection. 2, benefits administration. 3, employer relations. 4, training. And the other one, the administrative activities. Okay?
Ang galing.
Now, recruitment and selection, you dichotomize it further. Recruitment versus selection. This is something that HR students do not know. Do you agree? You don't. What do you mean by recruitment as contra-distinguished to selection? Recruitment is initiated by the HR. What are those? You join job fairs, you join the local government units job fairs, no, PESO. What is PESO? Public Employment Assistance Office, something like that. Okay? You establish linkages with jobs.com. Any employment facility that you can think of, you join. So those are what you call recruitment activities. So that's part of recruitment, which is a different banana as to what you call selection. Selection is done by whom? It is not done by the HR. Rather, it is done by whom? After the recruitment activities, you go now to the stage what you call selection. What is selection? It is the department head, the requesting department who takes care of the selection. The HR provides at least 3, and this is what we call the rule of 3. From the rule of 3, the department head selects one. Okay, the one who is selected for a particular vacancy is now shipped to the office of the hiring authority. Ordinarily, who is the hiring authority? It is management. More often than not, it is the president or the general manager of the company. We are not in a position to hire because we do not have the authority to hire. Management prerogative, management right is exercised by who? It is exercised by the general manager or the president. Ours is only recommended in nature. However, more often than not, the recommendation of the department head is given prime importance. For what reason? Because that is what you call in law as effective recommendation. Clear? Okay. Next point. Benefits administration, you dichotomize it into 2. What are those? Statutory versus company. When you talk of statutory, you refer to what? Statutory. You refer to the administration of the SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, and government and other government extended benefits. When you talk of company benefits, what are those? This is one area that which I want to discuss. Out of the generosity of the company, they give benefits. Like for example, this is something very peculiar in the industry, in the hospitality industry, because we represent the hospitality industry. When you talk of benefits administration, you consider number 1, the service charge. No, sorry. The service incentive law. The service incentive leave. The service incentive leave is mandatory. Whereas, is there such animal as sick leave and vacation leave under the law? None. However, a layman would understand that is such a thing. However, in our case, in the HR, as an HR practitioner, we consider it in a more technical approach. So what is that? There is no such thing as sick leave and vacation leave because sick leave and vacation leave is merely what you call company benefit. When you talk of statutory benefit, you refer again to what we call SIL or service incentive leave of 5 days for every year of service. Okay, now we now jump to what you call employee relations activities. So this is what CAP is taking care of. When you talk of employee relations activities, you have to consider only 2 things. What are those? Number 1, carrot method. 2, stick method. Tama ba? Carrot and stick method. When you say carrot method, ano yun? CAT is the one generating activities relative to the employee activities. Just like an hour ago, CAT took the initiative of coming up with a testimonial party for the general manager. This is an employee relations activities. The general manager, the outgoing general manager will be going to China, Singapore, for a new property of our company. So, who takes care of that? Is the HR, employee relations. Why use carrot method? Why use the term carrot? Because it is something for the employees. Isn't it that a carrot represents what? It's a food, it's a vegetable. is something that would nourish you, correct? So as compared to what, when you hear the term stick, what comes into our mind? Stick, pamalo. So the disciplinary action aspect. If an employee does something wrong, if there is an act or omission, when you say act, a voluntary act, ikaw ang gumawa. When you say omission, it's a sin of omission, you did nothing but there is something wrong with it. If you did not do anything, anong mangyayari? Negligence. So therefore, it is also possible that you can be punished for it. So CAT takes care of that also. So the disciplinary aspect is what we call stick method. What is the last one? Training. Okay, training is also taken care of by CAT. Again, when you talk of training, there are two things that you also have to consider. What are those? You have to consider core aspect and the functional training. When you talk of functional training, who takes care of that? It is supposed to be done by the department head because we are not conversant with the technicalities of the department. Functional training. When you talk of core training, we are the ones taking care of that. CAT is so handsful when it comes to core training. In fact, she's already done with the modules that she's prepared for how many months? 3 weeks, imagine.
Yes.
And she's done with it. So I'm very proud of Kat. Okay, you remember this class, no? Okay?
Yes.
And lastly, what else? The administrative aspect of the HR. What is that? Definitely, if you are an employee, you take care of what? You have to ensure that the employees must be able to secure the necessary government permits, licenses. Okay, in the industry, we have many expats. We have many expatriates. So if you remember in your class, okay, labor code. General rule, employment is reserved for Filipinos. Exception, aliens are allowed to work here provided that they work in technical consultancy advisory positions, provided that they secure what you call alien employment permits. So therefore, with respect to the expats, is HR also who is in charge of the taking care of all the government issued licenses and permits. Okay, both in the Department of Labor and the Bureau of Immigration and Deportation. Okay, with respect to the local staff, you only have to make the necessary linkage with the local government unit concerned. In our case, we are here in Pasay City, therefore we are taking care of the health mayor's permit of the employees. In other areas, in other local government units, there is what you call occupational tax. Here in Pasay City, there is no such thing. We don't have occupation. No, I'm so sorry. There is no such thing as occupational tax here. So in short, we don't pay that. What we only secure here in Pasay City is the mayor's and health permit. Just that. Okay. Is there anything that you would like to ask further?
How about what's the difference between supervising and the supervisor and the manager?
Okay, very good. When you say managerial, a managerial employee exercises, he has the right to exercise managerial actions. What are those? Number one, right to hire, right to fire, right to transfer, right to recall, right to demote, right to engage in the business judgments. No, so managerial employee. As distinguished to what you call supervisor, a supervisor is merely recommendatory in nature. However, the recommended actions should be what? It should refer to what you call managerial actions. So it is not just a matter of recommending something. Because a rank and file can recommend something. They can recommend actions. But it is probable that a rank and file employee can just recommend ordinary actions. So for you to qualify as a supervisory employee, remember the term effective recommendation. Without the term effective, you would lose your authority to be a supervisor. You remember that. Effective recommendation of what? 2 managerial actions. Okay? And in the exercise of effective recommendation of managerial actions, it should be, what is the next requisite? It is what you call exercise of actions which are not merely routinary nor clerical. Very clear under the labor code. So that is the distinction.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, walang kodigo, ano?
Wala pa, ang galing.